Good morning, student. Today we'll discuss the CPMN part. This is the one of the techniques of the network analysis. Network analysis is a system which plans projects both large and small by analyzing the project activities. Projects are broken down to individual tasks or activities which are arranged in the logical sequence. Okay, and therefore it is decided at which tasks will be performed simultaneously and which other sequentially. Now, once you break the activities or tasks into the whatever the project is given to, we have to first broke down into the individual tasks and activities, and this activity will be, we have to decide whether it will be performed on simultaneous basis or the other sequence basis. A network diagram is constructed and which presents visually the relationship between all the activities. Once the network diagram is constructed, all the once the network diagram is constructed which presents visually the relationship between all the activities involved. For example, time, cost, and other resources are located to different activities. So network analysis is generally so once you do the network analysis, and that analysis can be used for the planning your projects, and that method is generally recognized in the year 1955, and since then this method has been using. So network analysis generally uh, helps us in the designing, and it also helps us in planning the activities, and it is also used coordinating, then controlling, and in decision making in order to accomplish the tasks, and decision making in order to accomplish a task. Okay, so the task which is given to, we have to accomplish that task, and therefore the network analysis is generally used for doing the analysis of the system, and from the analysis we can plan your project. So network techniques were developed from the milestone chart and bar chart. Okay, but these conventional planning methods, because of their inherent limitations, could not be utilized for the planning large and complex project. So whenever there is a large and complex projects are there, this bar chart and the milestone charts will not be used for the network analysis purpose. Whenever the project is very complex and very large, we cannot use the bar chart, because the bar chart has some advantages. Bar chart becomes difficult while dealing with the big and the complex projects, whereas the bar chart also does not point out which task should be given priority, whether the task can be performed simultaneously or whether the task can be performed in sequence. That idea doesn't given by the bar chart, and therefore the effect of changes in schedule cannot be evaluated with the help of the bar chart. So there are some limitation in case of the bar chart. That is the reason the bar chart is generally not used for the network analysis of the project which is the complex and large. Therefore, the some recent techniques are generally used uh, for the analysis of the networks, network techniques, network techniques. So what are the different network techniques are there? The number of network techniques are there, and out of that we have to study only two which are there in the syllabus, that is a PERT and CPM. Okay. These two techniques we have to use for the analysis of the networks. And this PERT stands for the PERT stands for the program evaluation and review techniques. Okay, and CPM stands for the critical path method. Okay, so these are there for the syllabus. Others are program evaluation procedures. Then there are the resource allocation and multi-project scheduling. But we do not need to study other techniques. We have only two in our syllabus, that is a CPM and PERT, that is critical path method and program evaluation and review techniques. So before going to see this detail, that is a CPM and PERTs, we will see some terms which are related to this. The terms related to the network planning methods, terms related network planning methods. So the first terms is, we consider the event. Okay, for these techniques, we will just see what do you mean by events. For that, we will draw one diagram. So diagram is like this. There are some circles, small circles are there. All you should draw this diagram: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the event, an event is a specific instant of time which marks the start and the end of the activity. Okay, so the events consume neither time nor resource, and this is generally shown by the circle. Okay, it is represented by the circle, and the event number is written within the circle. So this is event number 1, this is event number 2, this is event number 3, this is event number 4. So in this way event number can be written. So this event starts first. Okay, so it is suppose joined like this. We will go into the details. We'll give the name to this activities: A, activity B, activity C, activity D, activity E. So what is event? Event is a specific instant of time. It is a specific instant of time which marks the start and end of the activity. Which marks start and end of the activity. Okay, so this is the event. This is event 1, this is event 2, this is event 3, event 4, event 5. So these events are represented by the circle, and the number is the is drawn in the circle, that is the event number. So this is the term related to the network planning methods. Okay. Second, we'll discuss the activity. Okay. So every project consists of the activity. Every project consists of the activity. Once the project is allocated to you, we have to perform the activity to complete that project. So every project consists of number of jobs operators. Okay. Or the tasks. Every project consists of the different job operations and tasks which are called activities. And activity is an element of the project. Activity is an element of the project, and it may be the process, a material handling or material procurement. For example, install machinery. Installing machinery in your laboratory or in industry, that is an activity, and therefore we have to arrange a foreign exchange for the activities. Therefore, activity is generally shown by the arrow. Activity is generally shown by the arrow, and it begins and ends with an event. So this one is activity. This is generally shown by the arrow, and this begins with one event and start with the another event. So these are shown by the arrows. So this is one activity, this is another activity, this is another activity, this is another activity, this is another activity. For example, installation of the machinery in the laboratory or in the any organization, it is called as the activity. So activity is an element of the project. It is an element of the project. Okay. Therefore, the activities may be performed by individually or may be performed in group of individuals. The activity normally given by the name A, B, C, D, E in this network diagram. This is a network diagram. Okay. This is figure is a network diagram. Okay. So these are the activities, and the activity is normally given by the names, and it is estimated to accomplish that activity within the given schedule time. So next is the activities are classified as further classified as critical activities and non-critical activities. So in this network diagram which we have just drawn, the critical activities are those activity which if consume more than their estimated time. If the activity is consuming the time more than the estimated, suppose now in this diagram, the time required to complete this activity is T1, time required to complete this activity B is T2, time required to complete this activity is T3, time required to complete this activity is T4, and time required to complete this E activity is T5. And if the activity takes the time to complete the activity more than the estimated time, then that activity is called as the critical activities. Okay. Suppose we have to install the machinery in the laboratory for suppose 1 hour is the standard time for installing the machine. But if you takes 2 hours for installing the machine, then that activity will become critical activity. So the activity is called critical if the earliest start time plus the time taken by it equal to the latest finish time. Therefore, critical activities, that is ACE. So in this case, we will show the critical activities like A, C, and E. So this activity, for example, we will consider this activity is taking the time more than the estimated time. That is the reason it is called as the critical activity. This activity is also taking more time than the estimated time. This activity is also taking more time than the estimated time. So this is known as the critical activities. And non-critical activities, the such activities have provisions so that even if they consume a specified time over and above the estimated time, the project will not be delayed. Okay, so that is called as the non-critical activities. So other activities, for example, this is B activity, D activity, these are the non-critical activities. Non-critical activity. So non-critical activities, the activity have provision, for example, float and slack. What is float and slack? Float and slack is, these are, it may be the float and slack means it means spare time. We have the spare time to complete the activities. So non-critical activities have the provision of the float and slack, so that even if they consume a specified time over and above the estimated time, the project would not be delayed. So activities B and D, which is shown in the above diagram, these are the non-critical activities. And the third is the dummy activity. What do you mean by dummy activities? When two activities start at the same instant. Okay. In the above diagram, suppose two activities starts at the same instant. So activity C and D, if you see in this diagram, activity C and D, they starts at the same instant. The head events are joined by the dotted lines. If the activity starts at the same instant, then their head events are joined by the dotted lines. So I'm joining this event by the dotted line. So this is also one activity, and we'll give name to this is F. So such activities are called as the dummy activity, because both these events, they are started at the same time, or the activity C and D, they are started at the same time, and therefore their event heads are joined by the dotted lines. Just I joined by the dotted lines, and therefore the heads events are joined by the dotted line, and that is the reason it is known as the dummy activity. It is known as the dummy activity, and dummy activity does not consume any time. Okay, it does not consume any time, whereas no critical activity also consume time, non-critical also consume time. Critical activities uh, are those activities which if consume more than their estimated time, the projects will be delayed. Okay, in this case, if the activities consume time more than the estimated time, the projects will be delayed. But in non-critical activity, even if the activity takes the time over and above the estimated time, the activity will not be delayed. Will not be delayed. Okay, and it does not consume time at all. Dummy activity will not consume time at all. Therefore, the dummy activity does not consume time. The dummy activity may be non-critical or critical activities. Okay. Dummy activity may be non-critical or critical activities, and therefore it becomes critical activity when its earliest start time is the same as the latest finish time. Okay, so dummy activity may be the critical or non-critical activity, and this dummy activity becomes the critical activity The dummy activity becomes critical activity when its earliest start time, which is generally denoted by EST, that is earliest start time, is same as its latest finish time. Is same as the latest finishing time. Latest finishing time. Okay. So if the earliest start time is same as the latest finish time, then that dummy activity we can call it as a critical activity. That we have to keep in mind. So activity can be classified like this. Okay, now we'll discuss something about more about the critical path. Which path we can call it as a critical path. So it is that sequence of activity which decide the total project duration. It is that sequence of activities which decide the total project duration. Which decide the total project duration. Critical path is generally formed by the critical activities. Okay, critical path is generally formed by the critical activities. So in the above, critical path is generally formed by the critical activity. So in this case, this is the critical path because this path is containing the critical activities. This A, C, E, these are the critical activities. That is the reason it is called as the critical path. So path number 1, 2, 4, 5. So this is 1, 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 4, 5 is the critical path. Okay. So therefore we can write here 1, 2, 4, 5 is critical path. Okay. And the critical path consumes maximum resources. It consumes maximum resources. What are the resources are required to complete this activity? It consumes the maximum resources, whatever it may be, the material, it may be the machine, it may be the man, it consumes the maximum resources, and therefore it is the longest path and consumes maximum time. Therefore it is longest path and consume more time. And therefore critical path has zero float. It is said that the critical path, it has zero float. Float or slack means it is a spare time. It has a zero float. The expected completion dates cannot be met. Whatever the date we have estimated for the completion of the project, that cannot be met. Means it always takes more time than the expected. Even if one critical activity is delayed, okay, that is the, it takes more time. The dummy activity joining the two critical activities is also called the critical activity. Okay, critical path reveals those activities which must be manipulated by some means. Okay, so this is called the critical activity. Next is we'll discuss the duration. Duration is the estimated or actual time required to complete the task or activity. It is estimated or the actual time. Actual time to complete a project. And actual time to complete a project or the task or activity. Tasks or activity. Okay. So next is total project time. So it is the time which will be taken to complete the project, and it is found from the sequence of critical activity. In other words, the duration of critical path. The duration of the critical path is the total project time. Duration of the critical path, because it is the critical path which takes more time, and therefore we generally consider whatever the duration of critical time is the total project time. Okay. Next is the earliest start time. Earliest start time. It is also denoted by EST. So it is the earliest possible time at which an activity can start. It is the earliest possible time at which an activity can start. At which an activity can start, and is calculated by moving from first to the last, and it's calculated by moving from first to the last. First to the last. First to the last means what is the first and what is the last? First to the last event of the network, of a network diagram. Okay. That is called as the earliest start time. It is the earliest possible time at which the activity can start, and is calculated by moving from first to the last event of the network diagram. And now we'll discuss the earliest finish time. What is the earliest finish time? It is the earliest possible time at which the activity can finish. It is the earliest possible time at which an activity can finish. And therefore, what is the earliest finish time? So the earliest finish time is equal to earliest start time plus the duration of that activity. duration of that activity, that is the earliest finish time. And next is the latest finish time. Latest finish time. Latest finish time. So it is calculated by moving backwards. Okay, that is from last event to the first event of the network diagram. And it is the last event time of the head event. Okay, what is the less, how you can calculate the latest finish time? It is calculated by moving backwards. By moving backward, that is from last event to the first event. Of the network diagram. Okay, so latest start time, latest start time latest starts time, LST. It is the latest possible time by which activity can start. It is latest possible time by which an activity can start. Okay, therefore latest start time is equal to latest finish time minus duration of that activity. Okay. And next is the float or slack, the term related to the network planning, that is a J, and the term that is called as the float or slack. What do you mean by float or slack? So the slack is with reference to the event. The slack is generally in reference to the event, and float is with respect to the activity. This float is with respect to an activity. You have to keep this in mind. The slack is with reference to the event and the float is with respect to the activity. In other words, the slack is used with the PERTs. In other words, we can say the slack is used with PERT and the float is used with the CPM, and float is used with the CPM. But in general practice, they may be used interchangeably. Okay, they may be used interchangeably, and therefore it may be the flat or slack. It may be the float, sorry, it may be the float or slack, and it means a spare time. What is the meaning of float and slack? It means a spare time or the margin of extra times over and above the duration which a non-critical activity can consume, and that is consuming without delaying in the project. So what is the float? Float is the difference between the time available for completing an activity and the time necessary to complete the same. Okay, so next is I, that is a total float. So it is an additional time. Total float is an additional time which a non-critical activity can consume without increasing the project duration. The non-critical activity generally consume the more time. So it is an additional time which a non-critical activity can consume without increasing the project duration. However, the total float may affect the floats in the previous and subsequent activities. Therefore, total float of the activity is equal to latest start time minus the earliest start time, or the latest finish time minus the earliest finish time, and it can be negative also. So in this way, the total float can be calculated the either by using latest start time minus the earliest start time, or the latest finish time minus the earliest finish time, and this can be negative also. Okay, so don't get confused even if you have the negative sign for the float. Okay, so second is the free float. So the free float is the if all the non-critical activity starts as early as possible, the surplus time is the free float. Okay, so generally the activity starts at the estimated time, whatever the time is specified at that time the activity should start. But if the activity or the non-critical activity suppose starts as early as possible, then surplus time is available with you, and that time is called as the free float. Okay, if all the non-critical activity starts as early as possible, then the surplus time is called the free time. It's called not it is called free float. It is called free float. So free float, if used, does not change the float in the latter activities. Okay, and in other words, if the activity is delayed by the free float period, the successful activity will not be delayed. So free float, we can write free float is equal to estimated start earliest start time of the tail event, earliest start time of the tail event minus the earliest start time of head event minus the activity duration, minus the activity duration. In this way, we can calculate free float. And next is the independent float. Independent float. So the use of independent float of an activity does not change the float in other activity. So independent float can be used to for the advantages if one is interested to reduce the efforts of non-critical activity in order to apply the same efforts on the critical activity. Thereby, it reduces the project duration. So independent float can be calculated is equal to earliest start time of the tail event. Tail means it is a succeeding tail event. Earliest start time of the tail event minus the latest finish time of head, means it is a preceding event minus activity duration minus activity duration. Okay, so this is all about the